Hello everyone, this is Philosophia from 4 Classic. This guide contains in-depth information with relevant gameplay on most aspects regarding Nightwalker. These are the main topics, and the video will be split into chapters for easy access. Nightwalker is the strongest class in a 1 vs 1. Nightwalker/Assassin is the most difficult class in the game. The class has a nice balance of mobility, survivability and damage. Because of invisibility, you can select your targets, get in and out of fights easily, while providing your team with a stunning gauge and eye to see invisible enemy. Nightwalker's usefulness in PvP is not as dependent on your items as much as other classes. In 1v1, Nightwalker can kill almost anyone with level 78 equipment, and in mass PvP, Nightwalker can provide the same stuns and utility regardless of items. Overall, it is a cheaper class to build. Nightwalker is an incredibly good scout on both attack and defense, and can really create chaos for the enemy. Overall, Nightwalker is a deadly, unpredictable, skilled and most importantly, a fun class. Now, I will go over each aspect that you need to know when playing Nightwalker. Starting race. These are the stats for each starting level 1 race. Felin has the highest physical damage and health, and that's why it is the best option as a starting race. There are no noticeable or impactful differences between the two gender options. Skill tree. Not much to say here. This is the most optimal skill tree. I encourage the usage of min kick, and Eagle Eye has such a short active that it's not worth investing points in this buff. Animation cancel. Before talking about skill rotation, I will explain how to simply do the famous ABB and mount cancel. As you can see, if I normally use skills, my character does the whole animation for each skill. The faster way is by doing ABB or mount cancel depending on the skill. Here is how to ABB. Hold movement key plus skill plus release movement key. ABB can be done with these 4 damaging skills: send and evade. Mount cancel. Skill plus mount plus skill/demount. Here are some examples. Teleport plus send. This is the most important mechanic of Nightwalker. Hold any movement key, teleport, release movement key, hold S, send, release S. And lastly, teleport and surprise attack. Catching enemies running away on mounts is easier with TP surprise. Be aware that enemies can dodge surprise attack if they expect it. How to kill every class in a 1v1. In this section I will showcase ability rotations against every class as well as specific tips. Versus Mage. If the Mage does not expect you, this is a possible rotation. After doing this combo, most mages should be dead. In case you are against a mage with high equipment, potions and buffs, this is a longer version with more damage while permanently stunning the mage. Advice versus mages. If they expect you, there are multiple openings available. Versus Priest. Priests generally have more armor and more HP, especially if they are buffed. The rotation is the same one versus a tanky mage. Priests have an anti-target bubble and you can wait it out. Also, if they anticipate you stunning them, priests can evade or pre-cleanse your stuns. Versus Evocator. The combo to kill Evocator is the same as versus a priest. If you get the chance, stun both the Evocator and the pet, and jump on the Evocator to finish the kill. Otherwise, watch the pet and evade the fear in the case of the spirit, and any stun in the case of the demon. Versus Archer. To kill an Archer, you must either make Archer use release and restun, or keep Archer stun locked with fear or mute. Here are the rotations. There are also other openings such as Tips versus Archer. Mount cancel his push, evade debuff arrow, or flash. Sometimes it's worth keeping your evade for debuff instead of flash. Keeping your eye up as a Nightwalker is essential. Versus Warrior. The rotation versus Warrior is the same as versus Priest. Tips versus Warrior. Fake your teleport with parachute as both abilities have the same animation. Teleport plus evade plus send to avoid getting hit by blockade. If he uses throw X, you are free to TP send and then release. Bait between fear and TP send. Watch out as he can pre-release your stance. Nightwalker versus Nightwalker is dependent purely on skill, as both players have the same set of abilities. If you catch a Nightwalker, the combo is the same as versing an Archer, as both classes have releases and you have to mute or fear. There are so many variations and possible reactions from your opponent that it's hard to recommend a certain combo. Here is some gameplay. Mass PvP. Nightwalker's priority in mass PvP is to keep eye buff at all times. While your allies are close to you, they will also get the eye buff to see invisible enemies. This is crucial to disrupt enemies' engages, especially mages. To optimize your engage, use speed potion, speed buff, and TP fear. Make sure you let your party know before, so they can follow up and save you. You can also look for small fights on the side and catch people unexpectedly. Most importantly, have fun and mix between all playstyles. Territory War. This is an interesting playground for the Nightwalker. As an attack scout, You can gather information, threaten to open gates, and even take forts by yourself. As a defense scout, Nightwalkers will see the attack party before they are spotted themselves, and after notifying their allies, Nightwalkers can burrow, let enemies pass, and attack their backlines. This creates a lot of chaos for the enemy and can even disrupt an attack. Items and item priority. The most important and dependent item on Nightwalker is Unlimited Mana Potion. After that, Unlimited Health Potion and Speed Potion are optional but extremely useful. Your weapon is next. What are the differences between chakrams and swords? Chakrams have plus 6% more damage, they are cheaper to build, while the strength of the swords comes from the doubled crit and attack speed. In my opinion, if you have the golds, go for the swords. Otherwise, chakrams are almost the same, even stronger in some situations. Regarding jewelry set, you can either opt for strength, wisdom, or a combination of both. And finally, costumes. Human has faster release and smoother/faster ABB, but the downside is the slower fear. As a fairy, you can easily hide behind objects and sometimes it's harder for the enemy to spot your abilities. Also, players tend to underestimate a fairy and it's harder to detect your class right away. This is the end of the video. I hope I inspired you to play Nightwalker and you learned something new. You can say hello if you see me in Iberia. Bye bye.